how did Zeus handle the adjustment um, from being an outside dog to an indoor dog? And how did you help him with that adjustment?
I feel like Zeus handled the adjustment well from being outside to inside. Um, One of the things that we did do is that we didn't just bring him inside all of a sudden. We slowly brought him inside for a little bit at time at a, and then he just got more and more used to being indoors. And then by the time that he was, it got the weather got bad and stuff, he was used to being indoors, and he spent most of his time indoors.
Shortly after getting Zeus, you you made a move from Tennessee to Indiana, a 500-mile move. How did Zeus how did Zeus deal with that?
Zeus handled the move pretty well. When we first moved, he had to move in with my grandparents because they had a big fenced-in yard for him. And when he lived there, they showed him a lot of love and attention, and I still played with him a lot there, and still took him for walks there. And then probably one of the hardest things that he had to adjust to was all the snow and the colder weather. It was a lot different than Tennessee climate, and that was probably the hardest thing for him to get used to. But other than that, Zeus handled the move from Tennessee to Indiana perfect.
What do you and Zeus like to do together?
Me and Zeus, we just love to hang out. Our favorite things to do is take walks. Um, I walk him as much as I can. I like to walk him after track practice sometimes or football practice. And then if the weather's bad, we'll just hang out inside and I'll play with him a little bit in there. And then if I don't have a lot of time, I'll just go in the backyard and run around with him for a little bit to get him a little bit extra exercise that he doesn't usually have.
How often do you guys get to spend time together, whether it's walking or whether it's playing ball? How much time do you spend with Zeus every week?
I usually try to get Zeus outside and play with him at least once a week. Most of the time, we get to go outside a little bit more. We like to throw the ball. We like to run around in the backyard, just chase each other around. And then we like to go for walks. And then if the weather is bad enough, then we'll just stay inside if we have to.
Tell me about your walks. What's so important about your walks?
Me and Zeus's walks are very important to me because they're so peaceful and it's so nice outside, and it's just a great way to relieve stress or just clear your head. And I know Zeus really likes them because he's just sitting there with his tail wagging and just looking around, seeing what everybody else is doing. And it's a great way for him to get exercise. It's a great way for me to get some extra exercise. And it's just a great way to enjoy nature.
Where do you guys like to walk at?
When me and Zeus walk, I like to change it up. We walk around the neighborhood, and if it's certain days that there's nobody really around the neighborhood, we'll maybe venture over to the park and see if there's a lot of people there. He just likes knowing where a lot of people are and watching people and seeing other animals, and just enjoys being around people. And downtown, there's usually a lot of people walking, and so they usually all run up and see Zeus and want to pet him and stuff like that. And he just really enjoys being around people.
If you think Zeus could talk, what do you think he would say about his life now?
If Zeus could talk, he would definitely say, "Keep feeding me more treats," because that's one thing that he loves. He just loves getting treats. But he'd also say that he really enjoys. I think he'd say that he really enjoys going for walks and hanging out and being around me and stuff as much as I like being around him.
What else would you like to tell us about Zeus?
I'd like to say that Zeus is a great dog. I'm happy that he's in my life. I'm happy that I get to spend so much time with him. I wish that I could spend more time with him, but there's so much stuff going on and stuff. And I really am trying to take advantage as much time as possible I have with him, because next year, if I'm off at college or wherever I'm going to be, and if I don't get that much time with him, then I know I'm going to miss him, and because he's my best buddy, and we always do as much together as we can.
So tell us about the rest of the members of your family that live in your house, and how Zeus interacts with them.
Well, Zeus, with my mom, when she's doing stuff around the house, he just constantly just sits there and he'll follow her around the house. Always wants to know what she's doing. My dad, when my mom wakes up early to go to work, my dad's still laying in bed, and Zeus will just come up right next to him on the bed and put his head on the pillow and just lay there. And my brother, who's off at college, he texts me all the time. He's like, "Hey, how's Zeus is doing?" Because he just misses him so much and misses spending time with him.
If you think you could have one wish for Zeus, what would it be?
If I had one wish for Zeus, it'd probably be that he could talk and understand what I'm saying, because then we'd be able to communicate better and we'd both be able to understand each other better than we do now.
And what about tricks? What have you taught Zeus? What types of tricks have you taught Zeus?
I've taught Zeus a few tricks. Some of the tricks are, I trained him like when he's about to get a treat. If I snap my fingers, he'll lay down, and then I'll give him the treat, and then he'll roll over. He'll definitely sit. He'll lay. He'll stay. He'll heel. He walks real well on a leash, and he doesn't really tug that bad and stuff.
Have you ever had any problems with Zeus?
No, I've never really had any problems with Zeus. He's ventured off a few times. I've had to go look for him, but other than that, I haven't had any problems with him.
So, what else would you like to tell us about Zeus?
I would just say that I'm glad that he's in my life, and I'm glad that I get to spend so much time with him, and I'm just going to enjoy it as much as I can.